Part 153. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1521. Bastard. Trash. Qi Lian, the red-robed dark envoy of the Dark Temple, watched the whole battle situation from a distance, and then cursed without hesitation, and while cursing, his face became more and more ugly. It was originally a steady victory, why did it take so long, and it seemed to be overturned? According to this trend, will it not take long for all the staff to collapse? Zaku. Kill me. Kill the Archbishop in red from the Temple of Light. If you lose this battle, this envoy will definitely treat you well. The red-robed dark god envoy of the Dark Temple yelled, and the roar was endless, and the words were full of rage. Hearing this, Zaku, the deputy lord of the Haitian demon sect who was fighting against Nangong Lei, the red-clothed archbishop of the Temple of the Alliance of Light, glared impatiently behind him. Do you really think that the cardinal archbishop of the Temple of the Alliance of Light is easy to deal with? Moreover, the red-clothed archbishop of the Temple of the Alliance of Light is still a 5-star sanctuary. People's combat effectiveness is here, do I need to say more? It's not bad to be able to maintain a tie. At least in a short period of time, it is difficult to tell the winner. If the Kilian Divine Envoy is really powerful, why don't you restrain the red-clothed Archbishop of the Temple of the Alliance of Light? Speaking of which, the red-clothed Archbishop of the Light Alliance Temple and the red-robed Dark God Envoy of the Dark Temple seem to be third-rank clerics. Could it be that the red-trained God Envoy is afraid? Feared. Afraid to fight against them. Zaku, the vice master of the Black Sky Demon sect, was fighting and could not help showing more sarcasm on his face. His ridicule is naturally aimed at Qi Lian, the red-robed dark envoy of this dark temple. Before, he had always maintained a flattering attitude, how dare he show any dissatisfaction? But now he suddenly felt that fawning like a dog was meaningless and worthless, on the contrary it would make him pitiful. Patience is limited. Asshole! How dare you speak to me like that? Qi Lian, the red-robed dark god of the Dark Temple, shrank his eye sockets, and a look of extreme anger suddenly appeared on his face. How dare you directly slap him in the face? I am the supreme angel of the Dark Temple. You humble beings should be dominated by me. As for rushing up to fight the red-clothed archbishop from the Temple of the Alliance of Light, forget it. Qi Lian's eyes scanned around, he also knew his own fighting power, he was no match at all. Seeing that the current strongest combat power of the Dark Camp is restrained, and the battle situation is on the verge of being defeated, the Dark God Envoy in the red robe of the Dark Temple can't help but panic. He galloped over alone, ready to turn the tide of battle. His gaze was fixed on the battlefield on the left, and his eyes became colder and colder. As long as the battlefield on the left end is stabilized, everything will be fine. Dark Temple Knights, attack with me. Fleers, executed on the spot. My Dark Temple, I don't need people who are greedy for life and afraid of death. Qi Lian roared, then waved his hand, and hundreds of people behind him moved after hearing the news. Although there are only hundreds of people, all of them are riding black dragons, and all of them are quasi-sacred and holy realms. These are the real elites. The power of the Dark Temple should not be underestimated. A massacre is underway. A group of practitioners from the Dark Camp who had chosen to flee from the battlefield at the left end of the battlefield now faced a counterattack. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1522. Qi Lian, the red-robed dark envoy of the Dark Temple, and the elite knights of the temple under his command are completely crazy at this moment. Those present, no matter which faction they belong to, as long as they turn their heads, they are the targets of their attacks. They are like greedy and bloodthirsty wolves, making life-threatening attacks again and again. The cultivators of the Dark Camp on the left battlefield also began to tremble at this moment. If you charge forward, you will die, if you retreat, you will die. Compared with the two, most of them could only turn around and continue to charge with their heads sullen. Obviously, the red-robed Dark Envoy of the Dark Temple came for Fang Fan. The power exploded in an instant. Although the red-robed Dark Envoy of the Dark Temple cannot compete with the 5-star Sanctuary, he is also a 4-star Sanctuary. Among the many forces present, the strongest is only the 3rd-rank force. It would be good if there are 1 or 2 1-star and 2-star Sanctuary Patriarchs in the 3rd-rank forces in such a small area. Of course, there is no need to think too much about the others. Facing the attack led by the red-robed Dark God Envoy of the Dark Temple in the 4-star Sanctuary, no one thought Fang Fan could withstand it. 10,000 Monsters Alliance. Old Ancestor, I think we should still rush to the aid of the Human Emperor's Palace and the Chen Tian family. No matter what, we are all comrades in arms, and before that, we were allies who were allied with blood. Seeing that our allies are in adversity and cannot be rescued, absolutely not. Tianhumeyer, the saintess of the 10,000 Monsters Alliance, took a few quick breaths. Her beautiful eyes suddenly widened. Saint Tianhu, don't talk nonsense. Don't make the ancestor angry. Tianying Zunchen heard Tianhumeyer speak directly in a questioning tone, and hurriedly came over and scolded. That's right, Sister Tianhu. This matter has nothing to do with us in the first place, and our 10,000 Monsters Alliance has also fought very hard. To blame can only be blamed on their Human Emperor's Palace for overestimating their capabilities and provoking the powerhouses of the Dark Temple. Baelixi poked his neck and said firmly, since the very beginning, he has been unhappy with Fang Fan, most likely because he saw his sister Tianhu trying to please someone so much, so he was jealous. Feeling jealous? How can you say that? If it wasn't for Hall Master Fang Fan who led the elite of the Human Emperor Hall to defend the battlefield at the left end and launched a counterattack, the entire battle situation would have collapsed. At that time, our 10,000 Monsters Alliance must have suffered heavy casualties. Speaking of which, the current battle situation can be brought back to life because of the heroic fighting of Hall Master Fang Fan. Now that he is in trouble, how can we stand idly by? Tianhumeyer bit her lips tightly, her eyes were full of stubbornness. She knew that her thinking was destined not to be tolerated by others, but so what? She doesn't care anymore. Okay. The matter of the alliance is already over. Don't mention it again. That Fang Fan is indeed not a mortal, but he is too capable of causing trouble. There is no benefit for our 10,000 Monsters Alliance to move closer to him. The Patriarch Bailey of the Wanyao Alliance waved his hand, his face full of indifference. Tianhumeyer's eyes scanned the entire battle situation, her heart gradually became cold. In fact, the entire battle situation has stabilized at this time. The Dark Temple has mobilized most of its troops to support the left-hand battlefield. Their light camp should also send elites to the left-hand battlefield to assist in guarding. But until now, none of the forces have taken any action. Most of the dead fellows don't die poor, and most of them have this kind of thinking. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1523. Collective Sense of Honor? Non-existent. Where are the cultivators of the Tianhu clan? Tianhumeyer's body suddenly lifted into the air, and a pair of red eyes suddenly became firm. Skyfox Saintess, what are you trying to do? The quasi-sage Tianying glanced at Tianhumeyer in astonishment, and the feeling of bewilderment became more and more intense at this moment. Patriarch Bailey of Wanyao Alliance couldn't help but frowned. Old Ancestor, Elder Tianying, I know your concerns. If you don't rush to help Palace Master Fang Fan, I will lead the soldiers of the Skyfox clan to help. According to the rules of our 10,000 Monsters Alliance, I have the right to dominate the fighters of my clan. Tianhumeyer gave a cold shout, her expression suddenly became extremely sharp. Patriarch Bailey's face darkened secretly. Are you sure you want to do this? Do you know the price of doing this? I have the right to expel your entire Skyfox clan from the 10,000 Monsters Alliance. And the premise is that the practitioners of your Skyfox clan are willing just follow you. Patriarch Bailey snorted, looking very dissatisfied. How dare you defy his will? Damn bastard. Don't give him any face. I don't need to say more, I understand. But I, Tianhumeyer, don't want to be that heartless and ungrateful person. Cultivators of the Skyfox clan, those who are willing to stay, I think the ancestors will not deliberately make things difficult for you. Those who are willing to join me in helping Lord Fang Fan, stand up now. We Skyfox clan are all wise and cunning in the eyes of others, but those they don't know, we will repay kindness. Revenge if there is hatred. Hall Master Fang Fan saved us, we should repay the favor now. Repay the favor. And the human emperor's palace is still our ally. Can we just watch our allies encounter disasters and not choose to help them? Watching and helping each other is the principle that an ally should have. Tianhumeyer withdrew all the charm from her body, and replaced it with a heroic figure. Willing to fight with the saint. Willing to fight with the saint. Millions of cultivators of the True King realm and Emperor Master realm of the Tianhu clan spoke at the same time, and their minds rose to their peak at this moment. Master Fang Fan, evacuate quickly. You are the elite of my light camp, and you must not be injured at all. The red-robed Dark Envoy of the Dark Temple is a 4-star sanctuary practitioner, you are not an opponent, retreat quickly. Among the Chinese army, leave the rest to me to resist. Above the sky, Nangong Lei, the red-clothed Archbishop of the Temple of the Alliance of Light, gave a dark shout, and then reminded Fang Fan. At this moment, he admires Fang Fan from the bottom of his heart, and thinks that he will be a rising star in the entire light camp. Superb tactics, firm will to fight, and loyalty to the gods of light. When all these are gathered together, it is no longer 1 in 10,000, but 1 in billions. From Nangong Lei's point of view, he absolutely does not want the Camp of Light and even the Temple of the Alliance of Light to lose such a peerless genius. Fang Fan raised his head in astonishment and glanced at Nangong Lei, who was in the midst of a fierce battle, with a smile on his face. It seems that his previous actions are still very effective. At least at the moment, the red-clothed Archbishop of the Temple of the Alliance of Light has a good impression of him. This is the first step for him to sneak into the Temple of the Alliance of Light and become a priest. Life is like a play, all depends on acting skills. What should be performed, still needs to be performed. Lord Cardinal, don't worry. The bastards of the Dark Camp want to pass through my defense zone, unless they step on my corpse. Fight to the end for the gods of light. Fight to the end. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1524. Fang Fan let out a roar, and he must shout out the momentum, so that the next thing can be done easily. As for the Dark Envoy of the 4-star Sanctuary in the Dark Camp, to be honest, it may not be impossible to win. Behind the 4-star Sanctuary level red-robed Dark Angel of the Dark Camp, there are hundreds of quasi-sacred and Sanctuary level elite knights of the temple. These are the core combat power. 1 4-star Sanctuary, 2 2-star Sanctuaries, 4 1-star Sanctuaries, hundreds of quasi-sages. Hee, you really think highly of me. Since you want to fight, then, fight to the end. Rehu. Lead the Blood Shura Legion to use the Legion's exclusive skill Sura Unity, display the combat power of the 3-star Sanctuary, and kill the 2 2-star Sanctuaries as much as possible. Deputy Commander of the Huanggan Army. Lead the elite of the Emperor's army and the slave's army to fight against those quasi-sacred cultivators from the Dark Camp. Galen. You have the 9th rank of the Heavenly Jailer, and you can attack people with high crime values and enjoy a 100% attack power bonus. These cultivators of the Dark Camp cannot have low crime values. You can resist 1 star for me, Sanctuary. Kyle, Jax, Daji. You are all of the pinnacle quasi-sacred realm, holding back a 1-star Sanctuary. The remaining 2 1-star Sanctuaries will be confronted by the small flying battleship and the God and Devil battleship. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, and his mind was overwhelmed. At this moment, the thoughts in his heart completely exploded, and his eyes gradually became sharper. In terms of high-end combat power, Fang Fan may not be short of anything. Vega, the dark magic is ready, to assist in killing the enemy's 1-star Sanctuary and 2-star Sanctuary, expand the advantage of the battle as much as possible. Once you are injured by an injury that affects your combat power, use the healing card immediately. Don't hesitate. I have plenty of healing cards, but you are the only ones. Fang Fan roared, and the entire battlefield was filled with a strong smell of gunpowder. My lord, we have all gone out to fight. How can you withstand that strong man from the dark faction in the 4-star Sanctuary realm? We will stay and protect you. Huang Gan and the other cultivators of the Huang race showed worried expressions on their faces. Hee, that, of course I can deal with it. Don't worry, everything is fine. If I am so easily defeated, is it worth you to follow? Fang Fan smiled defiantly, with endless confidence in his eyes. Confidence is for yourself. Annie, follow me to fight this 4-star Sanctuary. Fang Fan set off directly on the colorful little female dragon Annie, with a smile on his face. Ah! No. I can't beat him. Wow. This place is terrible, I want to go home. Whoa, I want to go home. You, don't lie on me, I'm afraid. There are even some crying voices in the dragon chant of the colorful little female dragon. Fang Fan's mouth twitched unnaturally. What the hell is this? It was planned well at first, but now you are scared? This battle is over, 1,000 decoration cards. Fang Fan directly started to lure, this trick has been tried and failed in the past. No. No. If I die, no matter how many treasures belong to others, I don't want to. I want to go back. The colorful little female dragon just kicked, twisting the colorful dragon's body, it seemed that she wanted to stroll away. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1525. I'm afraid it's not something you can leave now. We have signed a contract with the Rage God. According to the content of the contract, I can control you at any time, or even kill you. If you escape, I will definitely die, and before I die, I will drag you to die with me. I'd be happy to have a beautiful dragon accompany me to hell. Fang Fan's face darkened. Now is not the time to pay attention to ethics and morality. If he is a little careless, he will lose everything. At this moment, Fang Fan can't afford to lose. Don't look at the series of battle layouts he made before, but without the help of this 3-star Sanctuary level colorful little female dragon to help fight, the whole game will collapse directly. At that time, his little family fortune will be fully shaken out. Fang Fan couldn't afford to lose, and he didn't want to lose. Why are you like this? You are too cunning. Big deal, I'll run with you. Annie, the colorful little female dragon, felt wronged and wanted to cry. Fang Fan's gaze was extraordinarily indifferent from the beginning to the end. Now is not the time to pay attention to friendship. I can't leave them and flee. There are only 2 paths in front of you now, one is to die immediately, and the other is to obey my orders. There is a high probability that you will not die. Fang Fan was riding on the colorful little female dragon Annie, his eyes were extremely sharp. Seeing that the 4-star sanctuary level red-robed dark envoy of the dark camp had rushed over, Fang Fan's heart was burning with anxiety. Bai Piao. Hold on for a while. Fang Fan gritted his teeth, looked at Bai Piao, and shouted angrily. Boy Fang Fan, you are sending the young master to the fire. If your master Bai loses his life here, you will collect my body for me. Damn it, why do I find that every time I stay with you, nothing good happens? No. To be precise, every time something good happens, it will definitely not be my turn. This kind of thing that gets beaten up must be on labor. Ah, I am also a generation of God envoy, I am so miserable. Although Bai Piao was babbling nonsense, his movements were not slow at all. While yelling, he had already rushed over, his speed was getting faster and faster, and his attack was getting more and more fierce. It was miserable for Bai Piao to stand in front of the strong 4-star sanctuary of the dark camp, but at least, he really resisted. This guy is Xiaoqiang who can't be beaten to death. Defense power explodes every day. At this moment, the colorful little female dragon Annie also returned to the battlefield again under Fang Fan's coercion. You're a bad guy. The colorful little female dragon turned her head, and a pair of purple dragon eyes glared fiercely at Fang Fan. Of course, Fang Fan never cared about it. With the assistance of the colorful little female dragon Annie in the 3-star sanctuary realm, Fang Fan's series of plans only belonged. Daji, get ready. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes secretly, and then looked at Daji. The most important thing at this moment is Daji's invincible divine control skills. Master, I can't control him. Daji bit her red lips, then lowered her head helplessly. Fang Fan was stunned for a moment, then suddenly woke up. Although Daji's divine control skills are powerful, they are also subject to conditions, for example, cannot control beings that are more than 3 levels above her. Daji is now at the pinnacle of the quasi-sacred realm, and at most can only control practitioners in the 3-star sanctuary realm. And the red-robed dark god envoy of the dark camp on the opposite side is a 4-star sanctuary. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1526. The situation has never been relaxed, and it is still showing itself in a more dangerous posture. Fang Fan secretly looked into his eyes, holding a black card tightly with both hands. Holy Imprisonment Card. After using it, you can directly imprison 5-star sanctuary and below level practitioners for 3 seconds. This holy level imprisonment card was released when Fang Fan beheaded the strong man in the holy domain of Haoshan Pavilion. It is ready to be used before it is warmed up. 3 seconds, can already do a lot of things. Kyle, use your Holy Flame exclusive skill to lower his defense for me. Fang Fan ordered directly to Kyle, now is not the time to babble. Holy Flame, when Kyle attacks an enemy unit, it ignores the opponent's level and breaks its armor. Kyle's exclusive skills are also extraordinary. Obey my lord. Kyle fought in the air with the long angel sword in his hand. Every time the long angel sword in his hand was swung at the red-robed dark envoy of the dark camp, although he never attacked him, wisps of white fireworks were on top of his head. Suddenly bloomed. These fireworks gradually spread, and then slowly enveloped the whole body of the red-robed dark god envoy of the dark camp. The armor on his body is also gradually reduced. How is this going? Why is my sanctuary shield gone? Asshole! Asshole! Who's making trouble? Damn it! Damn it all! You hateful bastards from the light camp! I won't let you go. I'll kill you all one by one. Anyone who dares to stop this envoy will die. Qi Lian, the red-robed dark envoy of the Dark Temple, let out a roar, and his eyes instantly turned blood-colored. At this moment, besides the armor on his body being broken, he also encountered a difficult guy. Qi Lian, the red-robed dark envoy of the Dark Temple, stared at Bai Biao with bloody eyes, his back molars were about to be crushed. He launched attacks countless times, and felt that he could crush Bai Biao into ashes with one finger countless times, but time and time again, he failed. This guy is very weak, really weak, so weak that he doesn't even have the desire to fight. But it is so difficult to fight. Played again and again, but in the end it still ended in failure. He didn't want to continue entangled with this dog skin plaster at first, but this guy rushed over by himself and stuck to his body tightly. It was really like a dog skin plaster, and he couldn't tear it off no matter how hard he tried. Die! 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 Qi Lian, the red-robed dark envoy of the Dark Temple, was about to go crazy, and his crazy voice was like thunder, roaring wantonly in the surrounding area. Want to kill your grandpa Bai Biao? You're still a little stunned. Only you have the nerve to call yourself an envoy of God. Are you worthy? In front of you, Lord Bai Biao, the envoy of God, you should admit that you are cowardly. Cough, cough cough cough, poof. Grass, the internal organs are all shattered. Damn it, it's a good thing labor and capital have strong resistance, and it's good that there is Fang Fan's healing card, otherwise, I really need to explain it here. Bai Biaoxu babbled, although he kept complaining, but he consistently insisted on throwing himself on the red-robed dark envoy of the Dark Temple, and never left from the beginning to the end. Bai Biao knew very well that once he fell here, Fang Fan would definitely be slapped to death by the red-robed monster in front of him, and he would not even have the chance to use the healing card. This time, labor and capital have really risked their lives. Turn around, you boy, respect labor and capital more. Bai Biao clenched his teeth, thinking to himself. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1527. Bai Biao is struggling to support, Fang Fan also sees it. At this moment, it is also the critical moment of the battle. Now the overall battle situation is in a tense state, and it looks very stable, but if there is a straw, it will directly make the two sides of the balance unbalanced. Only by killing the 4-star sanctuary level red-robed dark envoy of this dark camp, can we turn the tide of the battle around. Other than that, it's bullshit to say anything else. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes secretly, his thoughts soared. Brother Bai Biao, hold on a little longer. Brother is coming. Fang Fan yelled, and then rode on the colorful little female dragon Annie and rushed up. This time he really wanted to do it with real swords and guns. Puff. Bai Biao spat out a mouthful of blood, then wiped the blood off his face, and glared at Fang Fan's position. Damn it, if you don't come, kid, my 180 caddies will really be left here. This bastard is not weak in battle. Bai Biao let out a howl in a loud voice, and his spirit was always in good condition. Vega. N. Get ready to attack with all your might. Fang Fan snorted secretly, without any hesitation, he threw out the holy level imprisonment card in his hand. Use. With the sound of Fang Fan's voice, Qi Lian, the red-robed and dark god envoy of the Dark Temple who was in a frenzied fighting state, suddenly stopped fighting and was in a state of stillness. At the same time, Wajia's desperate attack has arrived. Extraordinary evil power. Dark Priest. Dark Matter. Energy Burst. The Air of Life and Death. Dark Crit. Extraordinary evil power. Every time an enemy is killed, a little bit of magic power will be permanently increased. At this moment, Vega's magic power has grown to a frightening level. As for Qi of Life and Death, it is a magical skill brought by Wajia's 8th rank god-ranked judge of the underworld. When enough enemies are killed and enough chi of life and death is accumulated in the Book of Life and Death, it can arouse 10 times the combat power and last 10 times. Minutes. Dark Critical Strike is also a magical skill brought by the 8th rank god-ranked judge of the underworld, which can cause a double blow to dark creatures. Wajia itself is only the peak quasi-sacred realm, but at this moment when the battle broke out, under a full blow, it may not be weaker than the general 3-star 4-star sanctuary. Colleagues who feel frightened by the explosive fighting power are somewhat accustomed to it. Vega has never taken an unusual path. Dark magic attacked the red-robed dark angel of this dark temple, and caused a huge blow. On the other hand, Annie, the little colorful female dragon, was a little dazed when she first saw the red-robed dark god envoy of the dark temple froze. Attack quickly. Great opportunity. Fang Fan slapped the head of the colorful little female dragon directly. What the hell, why was he stunned at the critical moment? This is a crime. The 7-colored little female dragon Annie is a 3-star sanctuary level force. Under normal circumstances, it is naturally impossible to be the opponent of the red-robed dark angel of the 4-star sanctuary level dark temple. Even on the premise that he does not choose to resist, he wants to fight, its obliteration is also somewhat difficult. But don't forget, the red-robed dark god envoy of the dark temple at this moment is in an armor-breaking state. His defense has been weakened to the extreme by Kyle's exclusive skill Holy Flame. The 3-second confinement time of the holy level confinement card can already make them attack dozens of times in a row. After the 3-second confinement time ended, everything returned to its original appearance. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1528. Ah. Ah. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Ah. Qi Lian, the red-robed dark god envoy of the dark temple, let out a roaring sound, and his whole body was in a state of extreme pain. While shouting, his whole body was bleeding profusely, and there were hundreds of blood holes on his body. His vitality is frantically disappearing. In this state, it won't be long before he will be completely wiped out. The final attack, let's begin. This is, the last carnival. Fang Fan silently raised the corner of his mouth, his pupils shot with murderous intent. The sudden reversal of the battlefield here naturally alarmed the whole situation. At this moment, Nan Gonglei, the red-clothed archbishop of the Temple of the Light Alliance, who is in a bloody battle with the deputy suzerain-zaku of the Black Sky Demon sect, is completely stunned. He originally thought that Fang Fan was in an extremely dangerous state, and it was a great gift to be able to escape. He didn't expect that not only blocked the fierce attack of the 4-star sanctuary level red-robed dark angel of the dark camp, but also severely injured him. Up. Seeing that it is about to be completely wiped out? This son, the fruit is extraordinary. How lucky the light camp is. Nangonglei nodded secretly, his eyes full of appreciation. The battlefield, which was originally in crisis, has been revived again at this moment. If this trend continues, the light camp will win. Tianhu Meyer and a group of Tianhu cultivators, who were coming towards the bloody battle at the left end of the battlefield, showed surprise expressions on their faces. I knew it, you never let me down. You are simply the darling of the god of creation. While fighting, Tianhu Meyer looked at Fang Fan, with more and more smiles on her face. Sky Fox warriors. Keep killing. Victory is at hand. Tianhu Meyer roared, and the entire battlefield was in a state of panic. Some are happy and some are sad. Seeing that the situation is broken, those who are happy will naturally frown. Waste. What a waste. Is the red-robed dark god envoy piled up from the countless resources of the dark temple this kind of waste? Zagu, the deputy lord of the Haitian demon sect, glanced at the scarred red-robed dark god envoy with a dark face, and cursed for no reason. At this moment, his abuse is not limited to his heart, but also his verbal contempt. While yelling, the corners of his mouth couldn't stop twitching crazily. It's so irritating. A great situation was ruined just like that. Save me, save me. Deputy Suzerain Zaku, save me. I am the red-robed dark angel of the Dark Temple. I am the spokesperson of the Dark Gods, you must save me, otherwise the Dark Gods will not let you go. Don't come here. Qi Lian, the red-robed dark envoy of the Dark Temple, was in complete despair. He let out Hestia's cry for help. How he wished that there were a few strong men standing in front of him at this moment, resisting these attacks for him. He fears death. He doesn't want to die, he wants to live. As long as there is a chance, who really wants to be addicted to death? At the moment of death, the feeling of desolation in the heart is very real. Qi Lian, the red-robed dark god envoy of the Dark Temple, glanced around from left to right, and suddenly felt dazed with his sword drawn. The elites of the Knights of the Temple under his command are all trapped, and those cultivators from the Dark faction in the Emperor's realm can't block the knife for him. Death is near. He saw a colorful giant dragon rushing towards his position, and on top of the huge dragon, there was a young man in white robes, waving the holy sword. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1529. The red-robed dark envoy of the Dark Temple was finally killed by two dragon claws smashing his head. Fang Fan completed the final touch-up operation. Everything was done smoothly. After the red card dark god envoy of the Dark Temple in the 4-star sanctuary realm was killed, the whole battle situation became much clearer, and the battlefield on the left side once again showed a trend of crazy crushing. Master Fang Fan. The Skyfox clan is here to help. Tianhumeyer yelled from the air, her beautiful face was already flushed, obviously excited. Fang Fan glanced around, then looked at Tianhumeyer in astonishment. His reinforcements, hardly ever. When the battle at the left end was the most difficult, the other forces chose to sit on the sidelines and watch the tigers fight. But only the 10,000 Monsters Alliance, to be precise, it should be the Skyfox clan of the 10,000 Monsters Alliance who came to help. The leader is naturally Tianhumeyer, the saint of the Tianhu tribe. Of course, on the battlefield, it is love to help you, and it is duty not to help you. When the situation on the left side of the battlefield was collapsing, it was really a timely assistance to come to help. Although the temperature of this charcoal fire is not very high, it is heartwarming. Fang Fan glanced at the reinforcements of the Skyfox clan, about 1 million or so, most of them were from the real king realm, and the elite from the Emperor Master realm was no more than 10,000. This configuration can be regarded as a low-end version of the 4th rank force. They were able to come, Fang Fan was pleasantly surprised, and thanked him from the bottom of his heart. Thank you. Human Emperor's Palace owes the Tianhu clan a favor. Fang Fan looked at Tianhumeyer and smiled slightly. He also doesn't know why the Tianhu tribe chose to rush to help alone. If the 10,000 Monsters Alliance really wanted to help out because they cared about him as an ally, they wouldn't have sent only one Skyfox clan. But if this is not the wish of the 10,000 Monsters Alliance, is it Tianhumeyer's own idea? Fang Fan fell into deep thought, his eyebrows raised even more, all kinds of thoughts were churning in his mind, but he was a little confused. We are allies. We have a covenant. It should be so. Master Fang Fan is very polite. Tianhumeyer burst into a smile, and beheaded several soldiers of the Dark Camp. The soldiers of the Dark Camp on the left battlefield were almost strangled. And the Dark faction troops on other battlefields are also in extreme panic at this moment. because their red-robed dark envoy was beheaded. The head fell to the ground, looking hideous and terrifying. All the envoys were slaughtered, and their morale plummeted. After all, this Killian God envoy is the real commander of the entire Dark Camp army. Master God envoy is dead, don't hang on, let's run for your life. But the deputy suzerain hasn't given the order yet. If we just withdraw like this, isn't it too good? Hee, are you stupid? Working for the deputy suzerain? Is it worth it? Can he remember you? It's just, the deputy suzerain himself is now a turtle in the urn, don't act dead. Hey, the originally stable battle situation, how did it become like this? Defeat is only a thought away. We are now on the brink of collapse. The escape of one soldier can drive a battle group of 10,000 people. The escape of a 10,000 man army can take away a 100,000 man army or even a million-man army. Once the route opened, it really couldn't be stopped. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1530. On the battlefield, there are more than 1 million floating corpses. This is a bloody front. Fang Fan secretly squinted his eyes, and the eyes were flickering, and various thoughts were churning in his mind, making everything agitated. Kill more enemies. Collect more cards and star cores. Take advantage of this opportunity to get more money. Don't be idle. Let's do it. Fang Fan yelled. His eyes flashed brightly, his hands were folded in front of him, and the sound of breathing was very real. Such thoughts were churning in his mind, and he had completely become determined. For every cultivator of the Dark Camp, there are cards shining with colorful lights and crystal clear star cores and god crystals. The explosive bloody battle broke out at the last moment. This way of hugging grass and hitting rabbits is simply not too cool. If it is possible to cause some damage in the competition with each other at that time, then under this kind of infinite pursuit, it is basically like picking up for nothing. In the sky, Zagu, the deputy lord of the Black Sky Demon sect, who was fighting fiercely with Nangong Lei, the red-clothed archbishop of the Temple of the Alliance of Light, turned completely dark. Qi Lian, the red-robed dark envoy, was slaughtered. And with the killing of the red-robed dark envoy, the morale of the army was completely broken, let alone fighting. It was too late to escape. He is very clear that there is no possibility of counterattack at this moment, everything is a foregone conclusion. Asshole. Waste. The days when the Dark Temple was pampered have disabled you. Zaku, the vice-lord of the Haitian demon clan, glanced at the headless corpse of Qi Lian, the red-robed dark envoy on the ground, with a look of extreme contempt on his face. In addition to contempt, there is also a kind of resentment and anger from the heart. Such thoughts churned in his mind, which had completely made him crazy. Zago took a deep look at Fang Fan's position, compared the distance, and then without hesitation, got rid of the entanglement of Nangong Lei, the red-clothed archbishop of the Temple of the Light Alliance, and then rushed towards Fang Fan. The death of a red-robed dark envoy from the Dark Camp is no small matter. The red-robed dark envoy is already a third-rank priesthood in the Dark Temple. The status is respected. If he just goes back like this, he will definitely be held accountable by the Dark Temple. So he needs a chance to kill Fang Fan. Only by killing Fang Fan, the murderer, can he give an answer when he goes back. Damn it! The devil of the Dark Camp is gone. Seeing that Zago had rushed over, Nangong Lei hurriedly yelled. At the same time, he discovered that Zago's target was Fang Fan. Master Fang Fan. Run away. Run away. Nangonglei let out an angry roar, appearing very anxious. After this bloody battle, he completely saw Fang Fan's potential and his loyalty to the gods of light. Such an existence, for the light camp, is naturally an existence that must be supported with all its strength, and there must be no slight mistake. Fang Fan squinted his eyes secretly. In fact, he had already discovered that there was something wrong with this 5-star sanctuary level powerhouse from the Dark Camp. The Dark Camp has no chance to stand up in this battle, but this guy has been reluctant to leave for a long time, and he can tell from his attitude that there is something tricky. And obviously, Fang Fan's speculation was never wrong. Judging by the current situation, the form is already in a state of collapse. There is a slight accident, and the whole game is lost. The 4-star sanctuary who killed a dark faction just now has almost exhausted his potential, but now, the one who wants to attack him with all his strength is the 5-star sanctuary. Fang Fan doesn't have a second holy level imprisonment card. At this moment, Fang Fan didn't even have the chance to open the auction system to screen cards. It is completely conceivable how fast the 5-star sanctuary powerhouse is.